Well, me chums, I wasn't going to record today. I just came up for a quick pleasure session on this Easter Monday, but the sport's been so good I thought I would try and capture some of it for you. I'm fishing off the top on the dries. Doesn't like there's much happening at the moment, but they are rising in between the spells of sunshine, and I've been doing really well. So I'm going to see if I can capture something on camera for you, see what we can do. So here goes. So me chums, I'm fishing a 20-foot leader at the moment. I have 15 foot of 6.5 pound fluorocarbon, and I've got a 5 foot of 5 pound fluorocarbon. I have been given permission to use 5 pound. The minimum at Chatton is 6, but I've been given permission to use 5. So what I'm fishing a small top hat. The fish have been taking the flies right in the film. The takes have been nice and confident. I've had several fish already. As I say, I wasn't going to film today. I did bring the cameras with me, but I wasn't going to bother filming. I just wanted to relax. To be honest, it's the end of a week off for me. Quite chilled. Really enjoyed it. What I've been doing is targeting fish. So I've been casting to rising fish. That seems to have done the trick. And they've been taking it quite readily. That being said, now the camera's on, could be a different story altogether. So it's quite flat, which is the way I wanted it actually, because I want to fish these flies right in the film. You can barely see the top. I know it's just fishing under the surface, but you can't really see it. And the fish are just coming up and taking it very gently. But we shall see if they mind the camera being on, because they've been at my fly all morning. And now they're going to probably refuse it. Today I'm using a 6-weight Still Maniac, as you can see there. And I'm using my Hardy UDC reel. It's a 6-weight rod, but I am fishing a 7-weight line, which kind of contradicts what I was saying about the 5-weight being the best. But this morning I wasn't sure if it was going to be really windy, so basically I left the 5-weight in the car. But what I'm trying to do is just intercept the fish as they're rising. They have come up blind to it a couple of times, but I'm just trying to intercept them. They've had a 10-minute break while I set the camera up and what have you, so I would have thought they'd have been straight on this, but in true fashion they're not going to really go for it because the camera's on. But we'll see. I will try, persevere. So going back to the leader setup I've got, I was fishing 6.5 straight through because the fish are quite strong in these lakes. I wasn't getting enough action, so I changed the final 5 foot to 5 pound, which is low diameter as well, and it seemed to make a world of difference. They were taking it readily. There was a slight bit more of a ripple on the water before, taking the shine off, but the sun's intermittent, it's on and off. As soon as it's cloudy like this, they're coming up to the top. But I'm finding they're taking the fly probably within 30 seconds of it landing, or not at all. You can see there's nothing rising there. No, there's one rose. There's not much rising now, and I have been raising the odd fish. So I've got my flies, I've got a little bit of gink just on the top of the foam post of the fly, just to make sure it doesn't go under too much, and the leader's been degreased. That 5 foot of 5 pounds has been degreased to sink. I was having trouble getting the 6 pound line to sink because the surface tension's quite high. It looks like they're going to deny me now, in true fashion, but I'll move along a little bit. There's a lot of fish rising over this way. Oh, that was a splashdown. That's how not to cast a dry fly. He's just ignored it. I was in the right place as well. I fired that down. That's hit the water with a little bit of oomph, which is not what I wanted. Just try skating the fly a little bit. I think I need to degrease and put a little bit of floating on the top of that post. Yeah, they could be feeding on the shucks as well. So basically this fly's fishing in the film. literally in the phone. But if the fish are now going to start feeding on the shucks of the buzzers, which I can't see any of, may have to switch to a shipman's. There's a fish rising. Try and get in front of that one. It's on the money. Yeah, something's not quite right. Oh, refusal there. Just bulged underneath the fly. Okay, I'm going to decrease that leader again. Right, got some nice cloud cover again. So hopefully the fish will continue to feed off the top. You see when you're fishing these emergers, the takes are quite confident. Don't hesitate when they go for it. It's very rare they try to drown these. But this morning I was fishing a CDC emerger, which is more of an upwing kind of pattern, because there was little olives coming off. But now they're not feeding. There's nothing, I can't see anything on the water, winged insect wise, so hence why we're fishing this. There we go. Perfect little take. So gentle. So gentle. No need to be harsh with them. Just take your time. Get his head up. And he's in the net. And he's away. Lovely. Fish rising just to the right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to skate this a little bit. Missed that one. Very gentle takes. Little ripples just helping there, just disguise that leader a bit. Isn't very close to us now. Step back a bit. Oh, I turned away for a second. Literally turned away for a split second to look to me right, and that fish took there. Oh, and again. He's playing with it now though. And the tip is, if you do miss a take like that, but you don't actually prick the fish, put the fly straight back across it. There's a good chance it'll take it again. If you prick it, obviously it's spooked and it's off. Just keeping in touch and taking up the slack line just in case I get a take so I can set the hook. I have some mud that I knock up myself. So I'm going to take a little bit of mud, not much, a little bit of mud there, and I'm going to degrease from the fly. I'm going to try and do about 5 feet. And this is to try and get this tippet to sink, but leave the fly floating obviously. Next one, we're going to take some floatant on the back of the hand, just a little bit. And you're going to take your little finger, dip it in there, and just touch on the post. Always use your little finger, well-known tip, because you don't really touch anything else with it. You're not going to contaminate the leader that you've just degreased. Put some stuff back in. Got a messy box today, chums. Okie doke. Let's try again. Fish were literally going crazy for this before. It's outrageous, isn't it? There we go. Just a little movement on that fly. Just skate it across the top. Fit. Every fish I've had today's fought really hard. Water temperature's good. I want a quite long leader, so it's quite difficult to on these as well. Now that fish, I just give it the top out a little twitch, just a little bit of movement, just skate it across the top, and it took it straight away. Get his head up. There we go. Nice fish, probably 2¼ pounds. When I get my flub chuck and chums, the one off the top hat of the emerger, I've noticed that there was, oh, he's through the hook, too busy talking. Anyway, I noticed that there were some little olives coming off and they seemed to be taking them off the top. So basically what I did was, I switched to a little, it looks a bit sodden at the moment, like, but I'll dry it off. I switched to a little quill CDC, which sits a little bit differently. Took it straight away. Size is right, colour's right. My angling's wrong, just lost fish there because I was too busy talking. But it just shows you, sometimes you need to change the patterns. So what I'll do is, this is called an Amadou patch. I've had this for years. Basically this helps dry the CDC feather off. So what I do is, I'll give it a good crunch in here. Gets most of the moisture off. And then what I am using today, because it's such a small fly, is, oh, I'm going to block there you go, it's some desiccant that takes the, I don't get paid from them, so I'm blocking it out. And what you do is you pop your fly in there, close the lid, give it a shake, gets all the moisture out, pop that off, the fly with a shake, take it out, quick blow. Like new again. We can see it. Yep. That's new. I'm all ready to go again. I'm not going to bother degreasing because there's already quite a bit on there. Let's try again. So they're taking winged insects now. So that means I can use the CDC confidently because the CDC sticks up, it actually looks like a wing. And they take it quite confidently. Put that in the wrong position completely there. The fish is downwind of it, but we'll see. That fish that I just lost there took it straight away. As soon as it touched the water, it took it. So they're actively looking for winged insects. So what I'm going to do is get my line off the water, quick flick off. The collar's cast to dry it. What I'm going to do is just keep casting about. Leave it for 30-40 seconds, lift and cast elsewhere. It is strange, if you do hit a fish right across the nose with a pattern, it normally takes it. If it's in the feeding mode and it's mopping stuff up, it will take the fly if it's put in the right place. It's not always easy knowing which way the fish is facing unless they've got their snout right out of the water. But the last take was so confident. It's nice to see when they do that. It's frustrating when they start nudging the fly and pushing it about. That means they're unsure, but when they come and take your pattern without hesitation, it's good. It's a nice feeling, especially if you're tying the flies yourself. It was first cast for that pattern and it took, maybe it was just a fluke. And they're still rising there. It's just getting it where they want it. There, oh, there was a refusal there, it came straight up. See, as soon as it touched the water, fish came up, bulged, refused it. I don't know why. Could be my leader decreased again. But what I'll do is I'll just keep popping it. They're very close to me now. I'll just keep popping it in. Because you normally get an opportunistic one who'll just come up and take it. They basically don't even look, they'll just come up and take it. They're very, very small olives that I've seen coming off. They are being picky. There's plenty of fish there in front of us now. I'll try a little bit closer. Plenty of fish there, and he flies went exactly the wrong way. The winds just blew it. Normally I like my tapered leader because even if there's a bit wind pushing, I can turn the fly over. Unfortunately, because I'm fishing pretty much leader right through with just a 5-pound tippet on the end, the wind's catching the fly and I can't put it exactly where I want it. It's not sitting as high as it was before, and I think that's why they're refusing it. Because they're definitely there. Let's see if I can dry this off a bit more. It's sitting higher now. Looks more like a winged insect. They're getting quite wary of the pattern. As soon as you've had a fish on it, there's no pattern I found this morning apart from the top hat that you can literally get a take nearly every cast on it when they're in a frenzy. Another tip, if you're new to dry fly fishing, if you're worried that you can't see the fly, as long as you know it's floating, which it more than likely will be, especially if it's a top hat, even if you can't see the fly, just watch for a rise in kind of a 3-foot circumference around the fly, and anything that moves around the area that you think it's dropped in when you cast, just lift. But it's not so much a strike, it's just a sharp lift on the dry. Sometimes you need to give it a slight pause, but again, it depends on the day, what the fish want. And if they're just going to come down on it first and then take it, you need to give them that split second before you lift into the fish. Sometimes they'll just come up straight out and grab it and nearly rip the rod out of your hand. It depends. There was a rise, I missed it. They wait until you're talking, don't they? Personally, I prefer the foam-topped. Oh, I pulled the hook out of it. Personally, I prefer the foam-topped flies because they just last on the surface longer. I mean, that fish has just took that, which I missed unfortunately. Got a little bit of fish something on the end of here. What is that? It's chewed the fly. So I'm going to change this. And again on the top hat. Another nice silver looking fish. And ladies and gentlemen, it's the one from the left hand side that I've been trying to get all day. Oh, he's off. He's on a run. Running around telling all his pals in the lake he's been hooked. Stay away from here. Another lovely take. It's very confident. Take these flies so confidently. It is a pleasure to fish them. Of course, you don't need to fish the wicked white version. You can change it. I do have some quite effective olive ones. A little bit of a red hollow butt on them. They do well. Yellow owls, top hat. They do well. Try and get his head up here. I don't like to play them too long. The temperatures are starting to creep up with these lakes now. A fighting fit. I mean, the conditions for the fish is absolutely perfect at the moment. They're so fight so hard. I mean, these fish are only a couple of pound. Fit as a fiddle they are. Come on. Put as much pressure on as I dare. Oh, I got you. Hell of a scrap of that. Oh, that's a bit chunkier than I thought. ending another video. Thank you very much for watching. It was wasn't preempted. I was just fishing today. Just wanted to enjoy myself, but thought I might as well film because the fishing was so good. So I had a good day on dries. I hope it's shown you a little bit of what dry fly fishing is all about. Obviously there is a prequel to this video where I explain the gear that I use. Flies today, best flies today were top hats without a doubt. CDC shuttlecocks took a couple of fish, but the top hat sitting right in the film was the way forward today. Some beautiful fish. I might pop a few pictures of the fish on the video as well. But as usual, thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry it was just a short one, but hope you've had a great Easter, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.